Hotel World. This your brother Matthew Daniels, aka Ampu, aka The Chosen Few, aka The Real Bookworm. I'm not a bookworm, I'm the real bookworm. Make sure you get it right. And I know y'all saw the title of this one, and you're probably wondering, what am I talking about this time? Is your book trash? We're talking about a target audience. Is your book trash? Focus on your target audience one more time. Is your book trash? Focus on your target audience. Now, I'm excited today, right? I'm real excited today. Now, I'm going to tell you guys why I'm excited before I go into the video. My sophomore novel, Thicker Than Water by Matthew Daniels, is now out, right? You can get it on Amazon. You can find the link in the comments, and you can find the link to the book in the descriptions, okay? Thicker Than Water by Matthew Daniels, 496 pages of heat, 496 pages of fire. I'm gonna tell y'all something. There's nothing like putting so much energy, time, and effort, so much work into writing a book, and then not only seeing it get published, but actually holding it in your hands and being able to flip through the pages. There's nothing quite like that. But to get to the purpose of this video, is your book trash? Is my book trash? Focus on your target audience. I'm going to tell you something. My book is fire, but realistically speaking, my book is trash and your book is trash. Even if you haven't wrote it yet, just know that your book is trash. Okay. Now, why am I saying that? What point am I trying to make? The appeal of a book is largely based on opinion. It's a matter of opinion. Okay. You can have an individual like Stephen King. Okay. One of the most famous authors of our time, of our age, right? You can have an individual like Stephen King. You can have an individual like Danielle Steele. You can have an individual like Dean Koontz, R.L. Stein, Dan Brown, J.K. Rowling. You know, a lot of the hard hitters that are out there who have made millions and millions of dollars off of their books. And, you know, countless millions of dollars off of their books being made into films, live action films, movies. Okay. And even those individuals, if you were to just go around and ask everyone, how do they feel about Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling's work, Harry Potter, the series, obviously you're going to get a lot of people who love it, because, you know, it made millions of dollars. So a lot of people support it. So you're going to have a lot of people that say that they love it and they're going to say good things about it. But no matter how many millions of people or hundreds of thousands of people that you hear say that the book was a work of art and, you know, it was a great, exceptional book, all of them, the series, you are going to find some who are going to say it was trash. Harry Potter is trash. Lord of the Rings is trash. The Da Vinci Code is trash. You know, Angels and Demons is trash. The Goosebumps series is trash. Stephen King books are trash. No matter how many people love them, you're going to have individuals that say that they're trash. So, someone like myself, I'm not going to fool myself and make it seem like everyone who reads my book, or anyone who reads any one of my books, any one of my novels, any one of my works is going to love it. There are going to be people out there that's going to say my work is trash. And unfortunately, you as well, when you write your work, just know that there are going to be people out there who, unfortunately, are going to say that your work is trash. So what you have to do when you are constructing your book and when you are writing your book, you have to get it into your mind and accept as a prerequisite, you know, something you want to accept early on in the process. that people are going to feel like this. And you have to understand and know within yourself that it is okay. It is okay to get a bad review. It is okay to let somebody read your book or read your work, and you want their honest, critical feedback. And sometimes feedback, it does make us better, because they can tell us certain things about our works that they don't like, and we can make them better. Or when we write another book, we can make that book better, and we can avoid the pitfalls that we fell in our previous works. But what you want to understand is you can't please everyone. You're not going to write a book that everyone who comes across it loves. Okay, so there's going to be the opinion of someone that your book is trash, because we are dealing with opinion. Okay, we're dealing with opinion. We're dealing with the opinion of people. So when you are constructing your novel, and what I do when I construct my my pieces of literature, when I construct my novels, when I construct my works, I focus on my target audience. Okay, what you have to think about is what type of book are you writing? Okay, and who are you writing to? Who do you want to read your book? Okay, and then you cater to that demographic, right? You always want to stay true to the story. You want to stay true to who you are as a person and as an author, and you want to stay true to your target audience. You don't want to try to mix and match and mingle and mush in who you're directing your book to and towards, because you're afraid of someone not liking your work. That's going to make nobody like it, because it's going to appear to the reader to be all over the place. And you know this to be true because, like, marketing companies and publishing companies and filmmakers and things like that, they pay a lot of money to analyze demographics. Okay, they may say that you have a demographic of young adults, and the demographic of young adults may be 18 to 25 or 18 to 30, or they may have middle-aged adults, or a demographic may be older women or middle-aged women or young women. You may have a demographic that's children, but even in the demographic of children, you may have children who are preteens, children that are teenagers. You may be writing a children's book, and your children's book is geared towards children that are between 7 and 10. You may be writing a children's book that's geared towards children that are like from 11 to 13. Or your target audience for whatever book that you're writing, it may be geared towards teenagers, female teenagers or male teenagers. There's several different ways to break down a demographic, or to break down a target audience. So you want to try to figure out who your target audience is. Okay, you want to figure out who your target audience is and who you are specifically writing to, and you want to stay true to that. Okay, and as you're writing your novel, don't be afraid to stay true to that, because some people are going to feel like your book is trash. They're not going to like it. They're not going to receive it. They're not going to accept it. They're not going to say they're not going to say that it's good, because your target audience, they will appreciate it. Now, it'll be my advice that you want to give your book, your novel, as a wide ranging of appeal as you possibly can. Of course, you want your book, your novel, to appeal to a large group of people, a large audience, but you have to find that balance. You have to understand that you will not please everyone. Okay, and even when you do that, what I want you to understand is, even if you have a target audience, like let's say your target audience is teenage girls. Let's say you're writing a story about, I don't know, situations that can occur in the life of a teenage girl. Your main character, she is a teenage girl, and she's going through things in high school that teenage girls go through. Of course, I've never been a teenage girl, so I don't have the mentality of one, but I've read enough books and I've watched enough movies to know that a lot of times they create these stories with, you know, you have the popular girls, the mean girls, the outcast girls, the gothic girls, the brainy girls, etc., etc., and your main character is in one of those groups, and they interact with these other girls from these other groups, and, you know, the story progresses, and, you know, something happens. A lot of times it's a unpopular girl going through different stages and becoming popular. A lot of times that's the storyline that I see, and it's told in several different ways. Or she, you know, she's getting bullied by the popular mean girl, and at some point she either wins the mean girl over and the mean girl is no longer mean, or she gets revenge on the mean girl for doing something to her, and now the whole school loves her, and, you know, she becomes popular. That type of a vibe, that type of a story is the predominant vibe I get from those types of stories. But let's say if you're writing a story like that, what I mean by staying true to your target audience and your book is going to be trashed, of course there are going to be individuals, and it may be like teenage boys. They may not like a book about that, you know, and don't worry about it. Don't try to change the essence of your book if it's geared towards that type of a target audience, because you're afraid of, you know, teenage boys not liking it. Just accept the fact that the teenage boys are not your target audience, and you could still end up writing a book in such a way that there will be some teenage boys that read it, or even adult women or adult men, you know, who may not actually be into something like that. You know, when you think about movies, right? And an individual, when they're picking out a movie, like let's say me and my wife, whenever we go to watch a movie on Netflix, or, you know, sometimes we still go to the Red Box, right? Then I'm telling my age here, but, you know, I used to go to Blockbuster, you know, rent movies. But, or, you know, go to the movie theater and you're picking a movie. A lot of times, me and my wife will be looking at the movies they're showing, and I may see a movie that's appealing to me, and I may be like, hey, you know what, man, I want to go see that. It may be a new Marvel movie, or, you know, and maybe another superhero movie, and I'm really into those, and I'm like, man, I want to go see that. And my wife may be like, nah, I don't like that, you know. Now, that's not to say that the movie isn't a good movie because she doesn't like it, because obvious, I think it's going to be a good movie. I like it because maybe I'm the target audience, and she may pick a movie and say, hey, you know, I really want to see that. And I might be like, oh man, I don't, another chick flick. I don't want to watch another chick flick. And that doesn't mean that movie isn't a good movie just because I don't like it. It's just the nature of things. So when you're going into writing your novel, another concept that I really want you guys to grasp and to understand is your book is trash to someone. Okay, just let that sink in, let that marinate. Everyone isn't going to like it, you know, and you don't want to betray the core values in your book and betray the target audience of your book, trying to appeal to everyone. You know, you just do not want to do it. Okay, I want you guys to remember that, meditate on it, let that marinate, let that sink in. Just think about that, because a lot of times when an individual is writing a book, a lot of times a person may feel like they're hitting writer's block, right? They may get to a point to where the book is flowing fine, and they hit a point of writer's block, and they don't know how to carry the book forward. And really what's actually happening inside of them and inside of their mind, they may have an idea that's dynamic, right? That's impactful and powerful for the story that they are writing, but they may be hesitant to do it because they're thinking about how it's going to be accepted and how it's going to be received, you know. And sometimes you have to just throw that caution to the wind and stay true to yourself, stay true to who you are as an author, stay true to your target audience, and stay true to the core and the vibe of your book. I'm gonna give you guys an example. I know a lot of times when I write my novels, within the novels, I try to incorporate you know, scenes of love making, you know, sex scenes inside of the book. And I always, whenever I reach that point, always in my mind will start playing tricks on me, because I'll start thinking about, okay, how do I want to describe this scene? Okay, because everybody isn't going to be receptive to the same vibe when you're talking about something like that. You may want to describe it in a you know, rough way, okay, but you know everyone isn't into that rough thing. So you'll start debating with yourself, right? You'll start debating with yourself as if, should I actually describe this like this, because it may turn some people off from the book. But if the essence of the book, if this is how in your mind you know that the characters would play out this scene, then you need to stay true to that, and stay true to who your characters are, and stay true to the vibe of the book, and write it even if you know that it'll turn a few people off. Okay, a lot of times in my books, okay, it'll get to a point to where the language that the characters are using, they may use vulgarity, or they may use slang, right? And so when I get to those points and I'm writing in those conversations, and I'm placing that into the conversation, I inevitably think about you know, I know my mother is going to support me, and she's going to purchase a copy of my book when it's released. My father is going to support me. He's going to purchase a copy of my book when it's released. Elderly people may want to support me and order a copy of my book when it's released. You know, it may be a pastor who gets their hands on this book. You know what I mean? It may be a senior female member of the church, you know, or someone may want their teenager to read the book. So I have to, because I'm human, I have to consider these things, and I automatically think about how that person is going to respond when they see this language in my book. And so I have two options. Either I can try to change the vibe of my book and make my characters speak in a way in which their personality isn't comfortable speaking, you know, to not how can I say it, to not offend my mother or my father or a pastor, or, you know, a deacon in the church or a deaconess in the church. Or I can stay true to who I am as an author, and I can stay true to my initial target audience, and I can stay true to my characters, right? The characters that I have built and constructed, okay? And to how those characters would really be speaking in real life, because in real life, people use this language all the time. You know, the book is a fantasy world, but the book is a fantasy world that mirrors reality. So either I can acquiesce to the possibility that my mother will be slightly offended if she buys my book and she reads this portion where they're having a conversation and they're using a lot of vulgarity, a lot of vulgar language, and a lot of profanity. Or I can stay true to my characters, because this is how my characters would talk, and I can have my characters speak in a way that is true to them. Anyone who has read my books, if you have read Suicide Note, if you go out and get my new book, Thicker Than Water, of course, every conversation doesn't go like that, but there are conversations where profanity is used. But that is because I'm staying true to my target audience, I'm staying true to myself as an author, and I'm staying true to the characters and the character development, how I develop the characters. Okay, so of course there are going to be some people who are going to get my book and they're going to read my book and they're going to say like, oh man, why did he use this vulgar language in his book? I don't want to read that. You know, I wouldn't recommend this book to anybody because it upsets my personal sensibilities. Okay, and now me as an author, I already accounted for that reaction, so I'm going to stay true to myself, and I'm going to stay true to my craft. And if that's how an individual feels, that's how an individual feels. Because if I don't stay true to myself and I don't stay true to my craft and I construct the conversation in a way that's inappropriate with how I've already developed my characters, then when my target audience read the book and I have them going on a certain vibe and a certain flow, and when they see that, they're going to, their essence, their inner self is going to know how this character should be responding and how this character would be reacting, and they know how they will respond and how they will react and what they would say and the language that they use on an everyday basis. And when they see that, then it's going to take away from their perception of the book, you know. So I have to already accept that, okay, if I use profanity, someone is going to say my book is trash. If I put explicit love making scenes in my book, somebody is going to say that my book is trash. Okay, if there's violence in my book, somebody's going to say my book is trash. But even if I don't put violence in my book, somebody's going to say my book is trash. If I don't put the explicit love making scenes in my book, somebody's going to say my book is trash. If I don't put the profanity in certain key places during the conversation within my book, then somebody is going to say it's trash. It's a no-win situation when you're trying to please everyone. So that's what you have to understand. Understand your target audience and understand that your book is trash to somebody, no matter how you write it, no matter who you are. All of the greats. It's some people out there that they don't even like Dr. Seuss. Okay, you can take a book like a Dr. Seuss book and talk about the Lorax, man, or you know, the Cat in the Hat. It'll be some people that'll tell you, man, the Cat in the Hat is trash, or Green Eggs and Ham is trash. You know, and you can be like, well, you know, Dr. Seuss he's one of the most famous authors of our time. You know, Harry Potter, you know, when one of the, I think it was the Sorcerer's Stone, when Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone was released, it made like $11 million in 24 hours. So even a book like that, as impactful on the world as that, you will have some people that will still say that it is trash because it is a matter of opinion. Okay, understand that, accept that, and just deal with it and move on. I accept it, you know, and I want you to. And I thought it was a great idea for me to cover this topic with you guys, because you're going to deal with that as you're writing your book. You know, as you're a human. And I understand you're a human because I'm a human that writes. When you're writing, you're going to think about one day your mother might read it, your father might read it, your children might read it, your best friend might read it, you know, and you're going to think about how the person reading the book is going to perceive you, because you have put these things in your books. Like a big thing that I have to deal with is I worry about people applying the personality traits of some of my characters to me personally. Like I could have somebody in the book that's an evil, wicked, vile, low down person that would do anything. And so then when I construct these scenes and I write these scenes out and this character is acting in that way, it's always a thing in my mind that I don't want when people to read the book, the people that know me, they read the book and be like, oh man, are these the kind of thoughts that are in Matthew Daniels' head? Are these the kind of thoughts that are in the Real Bookworm's head? So I have to battle with that. But even on that, I want to tell you guys, stay true to your characters. Have your characters stay true to who they are. And if people, you know, don't be concerned with people applying the character's mindset to your mindset. Because when you are constructing a book, you have to be able to mentally put yourself in a space to where you are both righteous and evil. You are both good and bad. You are both lovable and hated. You are vile, right? And you are respected. Okay, you are underhanded, and you are resourceful, and you are above board, and you are straight and narrow. You have to be all of these things when you are writing your book. You have to be able to put yourself into the mind state of a woman to properly construct the character of a woman. You have to be able to put your mind state into the mind state of a man to properly construct the character of a man. Okay, you have to be able to put your mind into the mind state of a criminal. You have to be able to put your mind into the mind state of a cop. You have to be able to put your mind into the mind state of any personality trait that exists in this world if you are going to properly incorporate those personality traits into your story. And don't be afraid that people are going to associate you personally with the characters, because whether they're going to do that or not, you can't control it. Okay, just stay true to your target audience. Stay true to your characters. Stay true to who your characters are in the book. Okay, stay true. Stay true to the story. Stay true to the narrative. Don't bend, break, and fold because of how people are going to interpret it. Now, you have to find a balance in that, because you do want people to like your book. And if you're writing a book and you're allowing somebody to read it as you go so they can give you insight on how they're perceiving it, or you've already written it and you let a couple of people read it to see how they're going to react to it, and if the book is just like not what I said earlier about your book is being trash, but it's really just trash, it's not a good read, it doesn't make sense, the story doesn't flow, the plot isn't good, the character development is really poor, and you know that you don't want to put a book out like that in your name, because it's going to taint your image as a writer, it's going to taint your image as an author. What you have to do is, you have to really just take that as constructive criticism and utilize that to make yourself better. But what I'm saying is, by your book being trash, is even if you write a dynamic novel, it's not going to be appealing to everybody. So stay focused on your target audience. Stay true to yourself. To all of my authors, all of my writers, all of my scribes out there, stay true to yourself. Know yourself. Know thyself. Okay? You are not the characters. And your characters have to be a multiplicity of personalities. Dig deep into those personalities. If it's a serial killer, you dig deep into the mind of a serial killer and you present that as vividly to your reader as you possibly can. And don't worry about if somebody's going to wonder, oh, if you're an actual undercover serial killer. Throw that mind state out. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to your character. Stay true to your target audience. And your book is trash. Accept it. Your book is trash to somebody. My books are trash to somebody. But overall, my books are fire. And my books are real. My books are reality. I take you there unapologetically. Okay, so as I wrap this up, that's just what I wanted to say in this video. And again, if you want to watch more videos where I'm breaking down more aspects of how to actually construct the book, because I want to help as many people as I possibly can become published authors, or to complete their works, or just to become a better writer. I want to help you. So go to my website, www.TheRealBookWorm.com. Okay, go to my website, www.TheRealBookWorm.com, and you can check out more videos that I have with this type of a subject matter of how to write a book. When you're on that page, you can buy my debut novel, Suicide Note. You can purchase it on my website. Just click the link. Or you could purchase my sophomore novel that was just recently released a couple of days ago, Thicker Than Water. Okay, Thicker Than Water. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself. I actually have 2 books in print now. 496 pages of fire, family. 496 pages of fire. I'm not even lying to you, man. I'm not even lying to you. I take you there. Okay, so I hope you learned something from the video. As always, if you have more questions for me, you can leave me a comment, or you can go to my website, go to the contacts page, send me a message. If you want to ask me more specific questions about this topic of your book is trash, focus on your target audience, send me a specific question. If you have a specific thing that you are dealing with at writing your own novel that I haven't personally covered yet, but you want my opinion on it, and you want my advice, you want my coaching, you want my training, you want my help, okay, you want my coaching, okay, just send me a message. Tell me what it is that you're dealing with. Let me know, and I will respond, and I will help you complete your novel. I'll help anyone complete their novel. Just reach out to me at www.TheRealBookWorm.com. Let me help you become an author. And as always, family, this is your brother, Matthew Daniels, a.k.a. Pooh, a.k.a. The Chosen Few, a.k.a. The Real Bookworm. I'm not a bookworm, family. I'm the real bookworm. Make sure you get it right. And as always, may your name live on forever, and may your memory never die. Hotel.